how many people are expected to watch Michael Jackson's memorial service on TV today? The answer is 3 billion people.
That's right, the Daily Mirror reckons 3 billion people will watch the 4-hour Jacko Memorial concert later today on various news channels. Maybe you'll be one of them. If so, give us a call. You're watching The Right Stuff live on 5 with Kay Adams, Terry Christian and our special guest Ainsley Harriott. Still to come this morning, do TV nudes at lunchtime give you the willies? It may be done in the name of art, but what do you make of full-on nudity on TV at 12:30 in the afternoon? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts, flustered or otherwise. Right now, though, what kind of wacko will attend the Michael Jackson Memorial Show in Los Angeles this afternoon? They're calling it the ultimate showbiz send-off, a tribute show featuring Mariah Carey, Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder, attended by key figures from the civil rights movement and 17,500 fans. 1.6 million people wanted to go, but most didn't get the email yesterday that read, "Congratulations, you've won tickets to the Michael Jackson Memorial Service." Congratulations, is that the right word you'd use for a memorial? I don't know. Jacko's funeral, meanwhile, a small family affair, is also going to take place today. Now, fans are gathering from as far afield as Australia, Brazil and, of course, the UK. Most British flights to Los Angeles have sold out. Hotels are swamped by fans. I want to know if the world has gone mad. I mean, hundreds of you, I think nearly 800, complained about the excessive coverage BBC News gave to the star's death. So I'm wondering if the media is to blame for stirring the whole story up. I mean, it is the so-called silly season, after all, when proper news stories are few and far between. Personally, I feel like I am trapped in some sort of parallel universe. I listen to the things mourners say, the weeping, the wailing, the gnashing of teeth, and yet all I can think about, other than the baby dangling and the plastic surgery, is what kind of man would give £16 million to a boy who accused him of sex abuse, the kind who laughs when quizzed about it.
To your knowledge, Mr. Jackson, were you ever accused of having sexually molested Brett Barnes?
Won't answer that.
Lawyer Michael Ring there asking the questions on behalf of Neverland employees who claimed they witnessed Jacko interfering with kids. Now, New York Republican politician Peter King has been hailed by some, particularly in America, as a lone critical voice. He said yesterday, and I quote, "Society is glorifying a lowlife, ignoring teachers, police officers, firefighters and veterans. The coverage of his death is too politically correct." But King did concede that Jacko had made, again I quote, "a few good records and could dance a bit." Anyone else feel they live in a parallel universe? Terry?
I could never get that, you know, I'm one, love the art, not the artist, anyway. So Michael Jackson, to me, yeah, bigger than Elvis. And some people are going to go,
yeah, no,
how dare you say that? But it meant so much to people, and I think you know, certainly in the area that I grew up in, you know, where your Irish descent, you were black, and back in those days, black kids didn't have much to shout about, really. They had Pele, do you know what I mean? And they had all those Motown records, and Michael Jackson, for some reason, kids always loved Michael Jackson. You know, even my kids, the first time they saw a video of Michael Jackson, they were immediately... So there was, you know, there was something about him that drew kids in. There was something honest, because kids relate to that. So artistically, I think, yes. Would I go there? No. Do I understand the people who will go there to pay homage? No.
You don't?
But I kind of think all the fuss, yeah, I can see the media coverage and all the rest, and for years to come.
Do you think the coverage has been excessive?
Probably not. I thought there wasn't enough coverage when James Brown died, for instance. But because he sold most of his records in America, but I thought, again, he was a huge, iconic figure, you know, who influenced the whole of music. But I think, again, there was a kind of... Well, I mean, I can say this. I thought there was a certain racial element to the fact that James Brown didn't get the coverage.
He chose to die on Christmas Day. It's not a good day to capture...
Yeah, maybe. Well,
really.
Poor Farrah Fawcett Majors.
Well, Farrah who, as she's known after Michael died.
Yeah, you know, again, yeah, Michael Jackson, I think he was important. All this coverage, I can't understand the mentality of going over to LA, though. It's a long schlep.
It really
Don't
is.
go British Airways, though, in case they go on strike. So I didn't say that.
What about UK?
British Airways. I think we have to accept, you know, and I'm very critical of the media at times, and my instinct is to say, yes, I agree with you, I think it was complete overkill because I don't understand it. But I think the media, whatever that is very good at catching the vibe, and clearly...
Catching it or feeding it?
I think they can. I think obviously they do a bit of both, but actually I think they catch it. And you said Farrah Fawcett.
My kids were upset when they heard about Michael Jackson.
Difficult to talk
you
about
can't
people
not be
who've
upset. You know, someone 50 years old, you know, passing on suddenly, unexpectedly. It's a shock. It's just so much of what is said afterwards, and I sit there and I do feel that people are kind of in danger of sort of rewriting history.
Well, they've got completely selective memories. I mean, I thought his life was a lot more tragic than his death, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he had a very, very tragic life whilst appreciating the art that he contributed to it. And I think, you know, all those people who could say nothing when he was alive are suddenly singing like canaries now that he's dead. I mean, the hypocrisy surrounding it is absolutely massive.
That's kind of what I mean. It's not really about him, it's about everything else that's followed.
We live in a commercial world, and he's always sold, hasn't he? He's sold when he was at the top, and he's sold when he was at the bottom, whether you were doing a documentary about him, you know, with allegations of child abuse, or you were celebrating his best records.
Okay,
you know.
I just think it's very sad to have lost this man. I was one of those people who are looking forward to him coming to the O2, performing. We wanted to see whether he had changed, if you like. And I listened to all the stories about, you know, the child abuse and stuff like that. It's all very sad, isn't it? It's sad because we just want to remember him for his music, yet, as you so rightly said, it was 15 years ago...
Yeah, that he really was doing the good stuff.
That he was really doing the good stuff. But I remember Terry saying, you know, on one of those shows that you were on, Terry, that later on Michael Jackson, this is the first time we're going to see his video. Things like that don't happen anymore.
No.
You know,
was
it just doesn't
television,
happen.
wasn't it?
Absolutely. And so it's our generation. I don't know if my teenage son at home really cares. Oh, Jackson said, how sad. Because they can't remember how he changed the world for us, how music collectively brought black and white kids together, felt they could all do the same thing, the great videos, the great movement, and everything that went with it.
Which is all the positive stuff, but there was this, you know, pretty dark... I mean, you look at the list of drugs that were found in his house, you know, there were problems that he had in various... in the court case with Gavin Arvizo, that he was collapsing on the way into court. I mean, looked quite out of it at times. No one, it struck me, did anything to actually help him. There was a guy that just seemed like he was desperately in need of help, and no one did anything.
But they
People
were
just
all
leached off him.
weren't
Yeah,
they?
exactly.
They feeded off him.
And that's not a
you know.
happy story. And
no, it's not. But I mean, if you look through history, great artists are often very, very troubled, aren't they? I mean, it seems to kind of go with the territory in a lot of instances.
On a cynical note, there was that famous Hollywood agent who, when told that Elvis had died, said, "What a great career move."
OK, let's throw it open to you. Probably the last time we're going to take calls on Michael Jackson. Let's hear what you've got to say, Kirsten.
We have Vina on line 1.
Vina, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there. What do you want to say then, Vina?
Well, I just wondered if it's a good move to call people who are grieving for their own reasons wackos.
Well, it depends whether they're deluded or not, doesn't it, Vina?
But,
doesn't it depend on whether they're deluded or
I wondered
not?
how long it would take you to interrupt me, Matthew.
Well, I'm just asking you. You're asking a question, is it fair? And I'm saying,
I haven't even finished my
wacko.
first sentence.
OK, well, you finish your first sentence, then you
Someone
can
who
answer.
disagrees with you gets shouted down.
Well, that's because it's my show.
I know it's your show. Is that how you...
Yeah. Do you want to make a point or just slag me off, Vina? Because time is short.
I'm not slagging you off. I'm just saying.
Let's get rid of Vina. Let's get someone who wants to make a point.
We have John on line 2.
Next. John, good morning.
Hello.
Hello. What would you like to say, sir?
I wanted to make a point that, for example, a certain Princess Diana,
Yeah.
sorry,
That's all right.
was given tons and tons of coverage.
Yeah.
And she did loads and loads for charity, and she had her own problems and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Michael had all of that, plus he was actually talented.
Yeah.
So,
Princess Diana, as I recall, was never accused of child abuse.
It's true, but she was accused of all sorts of things. But he was also acquitted.
Yeah. He also, in one case, a boy, 14-year-old boy, Geordie Chandler, that accused him of child abuse, never went to trial because Michael Jackson gave the boy £16 million.
Yeah.
Would you do that if you were accused of child abuse?
Well, if I was accused of child abuse and I hadn't actually done it, and kind of all the chips were down, I was going to be on television for a year or something, then if I could pay it, I may do.
OK, because you think it would go away?
Yes.
Well, then we're still talking about it 15 years on, so it doesn't go away.
We are, but...
If he'd gone to court as an innocent man and had been found innocent in court, we'd never need to talk about it again, would we? So he spent £16 million that if you look at his finances now, he couldn't really afford.
Yeah.
So he spent money he didn't even have, potentially, to make something go away that then didn't go away and followed him for the rest of his life, as opposed to going to court and letting the evidence be heard and being cleared. It just struck me as a peculiar choice.
You know, I get that, but your point was he's actually had sort of too much coverage.
Yeah, well, that's what some people are saying.
Well, you're covering it now.
That's right.
But apart from
But
that,
luckily, it's very slow with you on the phone. It's coming through very slowly. Do you think it's too much coverage, John?
Sorry?
Do you think it's too much coverage or not? Just yes or no will do.
No, I think it's about right.
About right. OK, mate, thank you very much. Dear, that felt like quite hard work. OK, let's move on to my favourite subject of the day. TV nudes at lunchtime. Do they give you the willies? Did you get an unexpected eye full of sausage yesterday afternoon around 12:30 in the afternoon while channel surfing? Because I did. A naked man, no one told me about this, a naked man in all his glory posing for a life drawing class on Channel 4. Is that what you want on daytime TV? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts. Would more people watch The Right Stuff if I got my old chap out? You tell me. Thank you, Lord. You tell me in 3.
When was full frontal nudity first seen on British TV? 1957, 1967 or 1977?